good evening, everyone, and welcome to Kaiso Talk. Yes, indeed, it is a pleasure to be back after, of course, Carnival. All the dust has settled. Well, I'm not so sure if all the dust has settled yet. There may be a little dust still flying around, but most of it has settled. And again, congratulations to all the winners of the various competitions. Of course, the Carnival Queen, Miss St. John, the Panorama Champions, Comancheros. We have also the Groovy and Soca winners, Mr. Golden, Muddy, Calypso Monarchs, Scholar, and of course tonight he's with us. We'll be chatting with him. King and Queen of the bands, and of course the traditional mass bands, the road march champ, Lil Kerry. Yes, indeed. So congratulations to them all as they now start the preparation for 2026. Well, of course, we have one more major event coming up, Kaiso event. It's happening on November 9th at the Trade Center, and of course, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But it's Kaiso Talk. We're talking Kaiso this evening. The new Calypso Monarch is with us, and of course, it's a good time to welcome him, and also Val, who's with us. We have royalty in the house, Mr. Finley Jeffrey, 11 times Calypso Monarch. Good night, sir. How are you doing?
Good night to you, esteemed gentlemen. I'm all right. Just stepping out of the shadows since after the Mardigra. So that's my first appearance after.
Well, I'm happy to be able to converse with you for the first time after your 11th victory. This is significant, so it's good to have you, and we'll be talking all the talk. Val, good evening. You missed Spice Mass 2025, man.
Yeah, probably next year I'll deal with that, But once again, always a pleasure to be on set. GBN, 7-Eleven, folks in Grenada, Cairo, Petit Martinique, and all the listeners of the island. It's always a pleasure to be here and to be talking with the man, Finley, for the 11th time. Quite an honor. Mm-hmm. I mean, not even Chogdas has so many, not Sparrow or Super Blue.
Yeah, but short.
Quite historic.
He has about 4 more to go to make short. Short are about 15.
All right.
So, and I figure that way going behind,
I feel so. But quite an honor. Yeah, it's a pleasure to talk to the man. The first interview after the victory. You're here talking, guys. So it's a privilege. Yeah. So tell us.
Yeah, man. Finley, my good old buddy, 11 times Calypso Monarch. How does it feel, my brother, at this point? Now that you've settled, I guess it's all sunk in now on you. Yeah, boy, 11.
Yeah, but Godfrey, the truth is that it is becoming increasingly difficult. Not because Calypso is becoming increasingly difficult, not because the competition is becoming increasingly difficult. It just seems to be that there is that mindset there, and I spoke about it the last time I was on the program with you guys, that I've had enough. In fact, men sang this year in their compositions that there are various artists who have retired, called it quits, called it a day, and yet I'm still around. And so this is something that is playing against me. Definitely. It doesn't matter what quality that I come with. It really doesn't matter, really. All that people see is the fact that I've had enough. I've won enough. And they kind of equate that with age as well. Although you have a lot of fellas in the competition, you have fellas who are older than me, same age, companions and so on. It doesn't matter, really. So I know that this one this one will be special because it was harder, really, to achieve. You there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So I was just about to ask you guys to take a little break because the feed stuck for a moment, but we on track. We on track.
All right.
We on track now. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
But
So-
yeah, Val, go.
All right. Let me pause in for clear. So, Scholar, I hear you. You know, the pressure to continue. A lot of naysayers saying it's time for you to go. You win too many times already. Why you're still here? Maybe you're too greedy. All kind of foolishness. But I want to kind of juxtapose that against, let's say, a different profession. Somebody who has been probably writing a good novels, you know, in our case, let's say a Naipaul, you win the Nobel Prize, but you're still writing, you know? You still continue to craft work. And there are a number of good novelists and so on, regardless of where you find them. After the Toni Morrison and others, Edridge, Danticat, and so on, you are accomplished. But who is to say that you don't have more to say, to write about? Why retire? You know, people must say, well, you must just sing it, but don't enter the competition. I don't particularly believe that because I think that being there, you push others to be the best that they can be. And if you bow to the pressure, then you're not helping the culture to grow. So what do you say about that?
Scholar, before you come in, and I want to add something here, because I think it is very important that you look at this thing very carefully. Now, you started in 1993. I mean, and I'm talking here on the big stage. You entered the March Gras for the first time in 1993, all right? 32 years later, you have won 11 crowns. The 11 crowns were they were not 11 consecutive crowns. So which means that within that 32 years, you get a lot of blows. Which means that there are Calypsonians out there who can beat you. And they have beaten you.
That's right.
So I am confused. Help me explain why you would want to bow under that kind of pressure when they are men. And I'm going to get specific just now. But there are men who have, or Calypsonians who have defeated you before more than once in that period, but yet you are considering bowing to pressure from people who says that you're winning too much in 32 years.
Godfrey, all that you and Val have just said, I concur with everything that you just said. You're speaking to the convert, really and truly. It makes no sense to me. That's why I have not stopped it. Because in my mind, I'm thinking, hey, this is a talent that God has given to me. I'm positive of that. This is not something that just it's not something that I work hard at, honestly. I explained to Val how to write and so on and so. So I know it comes natural to me. So I've done figured it out already that the master have a hand in this thing, all right? And I don't believe that if the master has granted you something, that he has put an expiry date on it, kind of like. I always don't feel that. And I have always sensed that I am getting better because I'm learning. Because I always want to learn in this thing, and that's the whole thing. There have been times when I've had to pick myself up, to recalibrate, to go back to the drawing board, and I've always done it. Godfrey speak about people who, I get lashed a lot of times, and every time that I get licks, I've always gone back to the drawing board. And if you look at my repertoire of songs over the years, I am probably the only Calypsonian out there who has never ever written a song referencing a judging decision. Never ever. If anybody can find a song of mine referencing the judging decision, I'm paying them. I don't do that. Alright? I'm an outspoken person. I understand and I know Calypso. That's the thing about me. I have been a student of Calypso before I started singing Calypso. So I've loved Calypso from way back, since I was a child. Alright? I have studied it, learned it, attended workshops all over the place. I'm in Trinidad, wherever the things are, I would go to them to learn the things. So I understand Calypso, I understand its adjudication, I understand everything. Alright? So the truth is that when I am in that position where I understand this art form so well, because I've taken the effort to do so, and I am learning. I've listened to criticism, listened to things. At one time I was quite criticized, oh, the melody, and it's one thing you're singing and it's one thing you're singing. I change. So that is no longer level that over and over I had to reinvent myself. And I know that I'm getting better because I understand Calypso. And last time I was on the program, I told you guys, that's the only thing I'm praying to God, that if I am good again, that God would grant me, you have a thing that I have up in house, God grant me the serenity to, I wish that God would grant me that, so that I know, hey, you ain't good again. It's time to get out, you see? But I feel like I'm on top of my game, on top of this, Val and Godfrey. I look at the current crop of Calypsonians, and they are saying that I'm old. But you cannot tell that there's an age disparity when we step on the stage. In fact, they are old because they do not deliver with any kind of youngness at all. I am the one who's delivering as though I'm young, I am the one who's running up and down the stage. I am the one who's most energetic. I am the one who just seen all the veins standing up on the neck. Them guys and them just going, they don't even breaking a sweat and saying they're singing Calypso. So I don't feel among that company that I'm old. In fact, I feel that they are old. And I am young and I am energetic and I'm dressing younger than them. I mean, so I cannot see it whatsoever. But then you have that issue, there is just so much that I think one body can take. And I am not certain that I would want to go through this over and over again. I have a family. My daughter, incidentally, is a background vocal in my tent. And every time that I say to her that I'm throwing my heart again in the ring, she does just say, Daddy, again. That's the warning she gives me, because it takes a toll on them. It takes a toll on my wife. It takes a toll. My son, as I told you, this guy was born for Calypso. I am totally aware of that. When he steps on a stage, he's big, he has presence, he has everything. But he stopped singing. He stopped singing because he felt that he just couldn't take it, that Calypso is too toxic for him. And so he just stopped. And you have all of this. I mean, my queen, my mother, she's 88. And when I went up in Shandimel, that was the Saturday before semi-finals, and she is worried. I mean, an old lady like that, and my father said she don't sleeping good in the night. She tell me all this thing they saying about you and yada yada yada. And she said to me, listen, no, my old man, my father said to me, because both of them, he said to me, listen to me. You're my son. I'll give you an advice. I know you wouldn't take it because you're my son. And maybe I would not take it for myself. But don't respond to sour serpent and the likes. Leave them. God go punish them. Because I know you. I know your heart. And I know what they are saying is just nasty things. You know? And so I have all of this to consider. It's not just me. If it's up to me, I'll sing until eternity. But I have other things that that I have to consider, you know, and the whole. I mean, we live in a social media time. So the whole social media thing was ablaze after I read it. I mean, I'm not there, but I read it, and they have to read it too. And every time you say, yeah, my son will come and, Daddy, you see that? Show me some news, you know. Ralph Titus writes something, and Janice Augustine writes something, and they all come, Daddy, you see this? Daddy, you see that? So I have to consider this as well. It's not just me alone.
But scholar, yeah, and while I understand what, and I hear you, you made a reference to a couple people. You know, you called a couple names. Let's put that into perspective. I mean, are these people on what authority can they actually question your qualification as a Calypsonian?
No authority whatsoever. That's the whole thing about grader and social media and so on. You know. Nobody needs authority to do nothing, you know. The truth is that Ralph Titus has been around. He has dabbled in Calypso for some time. He used to be an extempo person. I don't know how well he knows Calypso, but year after year, I mean, if you remember in 2004 or 2005, you remember yourself, you and Ralph Titus was giving commentary?
Yeah. That 205, yeah, 205,
so,
yeah.
So he has been around. He has been around. He has outlived you in terms of giving commentary, and. People like that, people would listen to listen to what they're saying, you know, and listen to what they write. I see you write the whole thing, basically throwing all kind of. I don't even know what he's throwing really, but I am positive in my mind that there are very few people, and really Spice Mass is doing this service to Calypso, you know, because when I listen to the March guys from Barbados, Trinidad, from the likes, and when you have these people who are doing assessment of Calypso, they come, I mean, they are well, you know, lettered in the art form. They are not fly-by-night people. They know thing and they know what they're saying and so on. But in Grenada, sadly, that's not the case, you know, because you would believe that if you're serious about this thing, Ralph Titus probably might not be the one that you would want broadcasting and assessing Calypso and so on. Brenda, for all that, she's a good voice, and maybe she can be there, but not assessing, but pointing out things and leading assessors to give comments, because I don't think that she's versed as much in Calypso. But I mean, you have to wonder about Royal and these people and where they get the authority from, because I know for a fact that, and you know for a fact that Royal Titus is stone deaf. I mean, he's stone deaf, you know. And you have to wonder why these things have been happening. I mean, for long, because for so long, because he sings Calypso, and every time he opens his mouth, he sings out of key. He sings extempo out of key, and understanding key and tone and so on is the bedrock upon which you assess Calypso. I mean, that's about 45 of the points you actually, that ability helps you with. So if you can't do that, I mean, there's no way that you could access Calypso properly and favorably. That's just a disservice. But these people out there, Janice, I don't know. But you see, everybody has an opinion. That's what they will tell you. It doesn't have to be an expert opinion, but they have an opinion.
But let me ask you, you mentioned Janice, didn't you write her first winning Calypso for her?
Of course. I wrote for Janice. She won, and she won too. She was a Calypso monarch of the
media workers.
Media had a thing. So we do have history, and it's supposed to be favorable history because I set her on the way. But time has passed, I guess, and the truth is that, right? I do not, because I listen to things. I listen to criticism, especially if the criticism makes sense. Sometimes I'll argue because that's who I am. You have to get through and you have to convince me. But one thing I do in my quiet moment, I play back everything and I understand and I figure where to take out, what to pull out. And that's why I've been always reinventing myself, you know. All these years, I am one Calypsonian that has not been stagnated. You know, at one time people used to say, I singing only slow song in the Mardi Gras, I killing Calypso, I putting people to sleep, and all this kind of thing. Not again, you know. Not again. So everything they've leveled against me, I've listened, I've acted, I've reinvented myself. So I listen but I don't know. It has just become reached a level where it's almost absurd. It's bordering on absurd.
You know, I was,
of course.
Yeah.
Well, I think you will come to that in a bit because I think the one that really had me was so Serpent, but.
Yeah, well, I was about to ask because one of the I was a little taken aback because in fact it was aired in the news this evening where he said that if he won a crown like that he would return it, and that basically placing the adjudicating of the competition in the hands of spectators. I mean, last week on our program we looked at adjudicating Kaiso. We had Arley, who is a well-respected former judge. We also had Dr. Brown from Trinidad, also respected judge. And one of the opening comments that they made was that spectators generally do not pay attention to what is happening. They don't.
Which is precisely that. And especially when there's somebody in the competition that they don't want to win.
Right. That's basically the statement. That's the supporters come there to support their people, you know. But I want to ask a straightforward question. Well, two things. Is there collusion with the judges? You know, that scholar have he partisan people there and they're scoring for him. You know, you did not. I don't think that you selected the panel. That has nothing to do with you. So what is it, right? And if there is no collusion and you win fair and square, then why the big uproar? I think in a previous program, we did talk about people always liking the underdog, the outsider, the outlier, you know, and clearly you're not that because this is the 11th. You know, so I think that there is a chunk of people, I don't know, they might be very small numbers, but they seem to be vocal enough to cause you some kind of anxiety, right? And even among your family, right? So that they may not be big numbers when you crunch the numbers and so on in terms of the society, you might well find that they're too insignificant to matter. But it seems like they have a voice. And that voice is causing anxiety. So what it is going on, and on the ground, what are you hearing? So all of those things. Is there collusion? What is happening on the ground? And why are the naysayers and people against Scholar and so on? Yeah.
Well, it's a good thing that you asked that. Calypso is a art form. Let me tell you something. Calypso does breed some weird thinking. And so and it's all because Calypso is a competitive thing, you know. If there was no competition in Calypso, we don't have in this nonsense. And Calypso, I believe, would have been better off for it. Where a man will judge a man and assess a man, evaluate a man based on merit. But because there is a crown behind it at the end of the day, all good sense and everything goes out the day. No, let me tell you a fact. Let me tell you a fact, a statement of fact. For the last 15 to 20 years in Grenada, right? 90% of the people who judge Calypso come from one place in Grenada, a parish called St. David's. That's where most of the Calypsonians are from anyway. I only saw Pand and all of them, they're from St. David's. 90% of the judges come from that place. Alright? Yet I win. But you know they say it is me at picking the judges. Some way, somehow. I tell you, Calypso does breed a lot of stupid kind of thing you don't understand. Somewhere, somehow they figure out picking judges. Let me tell you, this thing became so absurd that Val, at one point in time, 2005, 2006, I won back-to-back. And people felt then that you win back-to-back, and that back-to-back I win a bit of jamu. So they said, nah, man, that it had to be that these judges and them, they favor you. So what did they do? 2007, they said, no way. And they go for all foreign judges. You know, I win again. I win again. All right? As a matter of fact, in my career, there has been foreign judges judging Calypso 3 times. In Grenada. 1993, there was a mixed panel of foreign judges. There were 3 foreign and 2 local. Right? I came second. But in those days, we got the master sheet, so we were able to analyze. Now, you know the 3 foreign judges, if the judging was up to them, I would have won. I would have won. It was the 2 local judges that shit me up that night, right? In 1993. That was my first year in Calypso. 2007, they had a total foreign panel, a win. Then 2013, they come back again. And every time, 1993, I just stepped in, so I don't know why Specky and them had something with Weezer and so on, they brought foreign judges. But 2007, 2013, they brought foreign judges because of me, those twice. So 2013, they brought foreign judges again, but this time they brought 2 foreign judges, 3 locals. So they mix it. And again, I came second, right? I lost. But again, on the analysis of the judges' score sheet, if it was up to the 2 Trinidadians who judge, I come first again. So when these things are leveled, I just don't even bother about this thing. Calypso just breeds some strange things. The fact that I've been winning Calypso and beating these guys is a testament not to any kind of party thing or any kind of collusion thing, but just to my skill as a Kaisonian, and they just wouldn't accept this. No matter what they do, they bring fire in, they bring what. 90% of the judges are from their local, from their place. They would never admit it, but it's a fact. It's a fact. As a matter of fact, in the last 20 years, 15, 20 years, only 2 judges have come from where I come from. 2 in the last 20 years. And that is the judging scenario in Grenada. The judging scenario in Grenada is so funny, so simple, and yet we should have been the people that should be kicking up, people like me. Because in Grenada, funny enough, you have you have the parishes. There's no judge from Cairo. There's no judge from St. Mark's. There's one judge from St. John, but he's from St. David's. He lives in St. John. He lives in St. John's, but he's from St. David's. All right? There are a few from St. Andrews, a few from St. George's. Some of those who are from St. George's, from St. Andrews, they work in St. David's. They teach in St. David's. Some of those who are from St. George's are actually from St. David's, but they're living in St. George's. And the majority of the others, 90%, I'll tell you, they're like the African. You know, what they call him, say, Stalin, I said, the more African they got.
More African become.
They leave and they take others from that same parish, take their place. So, why sometimes I listen to these things and it baffles me, you know. And you hear all kind of thing about pollution and Paris and I picking judge. Why am I going to pick St. David's people to judge me? I mean making sense. But that's what they done that because I'm winning.
Yeah.
That's how it is.
But let's you know, the thing is there's so much to talk about, but I want us to spend time on the actual competition. You had a fairly good season. You had some really great calypsos. Of course, Innocence Lost, you had the Rapper 9, you had Bull Pistol. That were the songs that basically was out there from you for the season. And of course, coming from the 10th into the semi-final, let's talk a little bit about the whole preparation, the competition, coming from the 10th into the semis and onto the March. What was the feeling?
Well, Godfrey, is good that you asked that because I was, kind of between a rock and a hard place as it relates to the songs that I choose. And I think when I came on your program, I spoke about Rapper 9. I heard you speaking to Val about it. Rapper 9 is my best song for the year. Most creative, most melodic, I mean everything. But I never trusted it to put it for judges to adjudicate. I didn't trust, right? Because I've seen songs like that pass over heads. And 3-4 months later, men start to joke themselves, wait, no, but that's a good song. But that time, that passed already.
Thank God, Lord.
I didn't want to take the chance, right? No, for the preliminaries, I practiced 3 songs. Rapper 9, Bull Pistol, and Innocence Lost. But Innocence Lost was like a fallback. So by the time the preliminary came, I realized that I was not too fair with Rapper 9. So I said, let me leave that. And I'll sing Innocence Lost and qualify, which I did. Mm-hmm. And when I qualified, I dropped Innocence Lost. I took back the music sheets from the bandmen and I fed them with Rapper 9. I said, we're going with Rapper 9. And that is what was happening. However, on the second night of our judging, I sang Rapper 9 to like a song check for the band. And I realized that the band chorus was giving me some issues. How it was coming in, different things, every verse. So I was getting puzzled. So I say, you know what it is? I want to write over the music and put a standard band chorus. Something that standard, easy to think for the stage. So I did that. So by the Thursday, the Friday, I went back to Andy, Lewis, the arranger. We wrote out the band chorus for the song. And then the Saturday, we usually would have dress rehearsal for the Sunday. So I said, all right, I'll try it out there so that, the bandmen. And lo and behold, the brass men never came. Brass men never came. So I was not able. So the cards, they practice, but no brass. And they gave me the assurance, nah man, them brass men and them are sight readers. They go get that man, don't worry. Godfrey, and Saturday night I go and lie down, I don't sleep. This thing just keep playing in my head. Wow. Sunday I get up and I just tell myself, you see what? Me ain't trust that. I ain't trust that. So I called them back and I said to them, listen, I ain't going to rep a 9 again, So I had to take back Innocent last sheet. I say, I ain't trust all you. They tell me, no man, we go blow it. I say, no, I ain't trust. I ain't going to a competition where my heart not.
You're not settled.
I took back Innocent last music sheet. I gave it back to them and I sang Innocent Last again in the semi-final. And when I see how the song go down in the semi-final, I knew I couldn't drop it.
Right.
There was just something about Innocent Last that it refused to go away. And that was when I had the inkling, Godfrey, that I'm onto something. I'm onto something. Because the last time that happened to me was with what was the song by that long ago, I won the last time before that I won the crown.
I know. Yeah.
Song of Resilience.
Yeah.
I never intended to sing that song. I was just holding on with that song until my good song right. And I never changed Song of Resilience. It just kept getting better and better and better until I won with it. So I just had that same feeling about Innocence Lost. And you see what happened with it in the match.
Yep, indeed. The bull pistol.
Yeah, well, the bull pistol is the bull pistol. Funny enough, there are a lot of, and there were a lot of people who knew Calypso. People like Arley, Gill and so on, who were encouraging me to drop the bull pistol. What I should have done was drop a two bull pistol. Give them two bull. But I was resolute about bull pistol. From the day I wrote this song, I knew that was what I was going with. Men would say what they want because I know, as I said to you, I know Kaiso. So I know when I write a good song, a song, just the melody alone in bull pistol is what they sing. I mean, the mood that it creates, the imagery. You've seen Powder, as you hear the song start and you hear the melody starting, you've seen Powder, you hear Wulo, you've seen Shatney passing. This is the hallmark of a great melody. So I knew, and the funny thing is, Tigress Trinidad, that's my girl. So when I send songs for her, I listen to her, she gives feedback. These are the kind of people I'll take feedback readily from. Now people like Ralph Titus and them people. Tigress and them. He's a boss in Kaiso. So when I sent Rapper 9 for her first, she tell me, yeah, boy, that is a good one. The melody, yada, 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 and she praise it and she think it. And she tell me, oh, but Kenny want do that. How Kenny thing? And she think it. And when I send Bull Pistol, she write back and she tell me, that melody better than her. She said, that is the one. She tell me, if it's a one song competition all you have to do, that is the song you have to do. I mean, when Tigress give you that stamp, I ain't gonna listen to Arley, Gill and them fellas. I know them men and them leading me down the wrong road. So I ain't checking on them. So I never bothered with them. Never bothered. And the bull pistol, I mean, I share bull pistol.
Right. I mean, Val, you a long time you ain't coming. Go ahead, because I have so much to ask this fella.
Yeah. Well, you know, my thing is that you seem to be to go through the scores and you have a breakdown. So I want to kind of understand the old talk and the we against scholar thing in terms of the breakdown of the songs. You would have seen the score sheet, your lyric, your melody, and so on. I mean, those are the things that beat you. So give me a sense of the breakdown. What it looked like when you look at it, based on your two songs and so on.
I really would have hoped and wished and liked to have answered that question in a way that gives it its relevance, because it's a relevant question. Sadly, I can't, because I don't look at the score sheets.
All right.
Guys may are failing, but I don't look at the score sheets, my score sheets, so I never really looked at them. The truth is that it's my understanding, and I think Papa Jerry, one of them, they shared the master score sheet with him and he put it out. So I saw certain things. So I know, for example, that I placed 7th in the preliminaries and 2nd in the semifinals. Right? But that's the reason why I don't like to really look at these score sheets, because sometimes, from my experience, it teaches me nothing. Teaches me nothing, really. I always say that the preliminaries, the semifinals, these are just steps. And when I finish, the slate, I clean it. It doesn't matter what score sheet I have, it doesn't matter. I clean that slate. If I come last to make it, I clean the space. I make it. I don't want to see. So I want to be resolute in my head as to what I'm doing for the finals without this score sheet peering up at me, peering back at me, and I determining what I do because of the score sheet.
Right.
I don't do that. So
no,
I've not looked at it.
Yeah, but what you said, it for me it clarifies, because the preliminary starts, you hardly perform the song, yeah, or most Calypsonians, you come, you have your rehearsals in terms of your tent and so on, and the judges come. So there is not a lot of performance under your belt, right? You perform for the prelim, you are 7th, you know, at semi-final. After more performances and the song Kusumir, you understand the thing and whatever, you're 2nd. So you're right there. You know,
right there.
And for me that's good, because you're not at the top where you're probably feeling that you're confident and you get cocky. You're 2nd, right?
I know how to
somebody
you have work to do. You have work to do.
Somebody is above you. You have work to do. So you go and you do your work, and at the end of the day, at the final, you're on top, right? So asking you the question was just to get a gauge in terms of what was happening, right?
Right.
And the master sheet said that. So that there is clearly a thing that you didn't come from the bottom at the semi-final. You know, you were not 10th and then the pitchfork you to number 1. You were 2nd.
I was
right?
2nd, yes.
You were 2nd. So it figures.
Oh, I get you now. Right. So I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, and I just wanted to get that.
Because one of the strange things that happened, right, in the Marshgraph, the guy who placed 4th in both the preliminaries and the semifinals, based on the master sheet, he came on before last.
Yep.
Which to me is an anomaly. I mean, he didn't make a mistake as far as I understand. So even if you have a bad night, I can't see how you pitch from. And he was beating everybody outstandingly in the preliminaries, in So that was one that I don't understand.
But also not just that. The guy who placed last, there was just 1 point separating them. So he nearly come last.
He nearly come last. And that is a judging anomaly. But those things, as you know, Val, they happen because your partner, you and Godfrey partner, if you remember, he was a standby in Trinidad. Imagine, the man get a blind in the ground. So. Of course.
That happened. You know, people protest. Of course, yeah. Luther, people protest, come in and end up winning and so on. So that were there a change of 5 judges at the final? I mean, do you know?
Yes.
Was it consistent?
Far as I understand, they were all new adjudicators.
All new adjudicators.
I know 2 of them are from St. David. That for certain. I know for certain. I don't know. But I don't know the others. But I know 2 from St. David.
Scholar, when you were talking earlier, and I remember the song from King Shortshirt. You know, people think I'm doing well just because I sing a few Calypso.
Yeah.
You know, so you can sing that for them. Get them the line. You know, where people think that Kaiso doesn't make so much money, so that they want you out because you win 11 times and they feel that Kaiso really has money. But Shortshit was saying back then, you know, Kaiso don't make money. You know, Kaiso don't make the kind of money that people think it makes. So what is all this? Fight down and aggro and thing about
Kaiso is just a labor of love, you know.
You know.
No. I mean, the truth is, even though Val, like for example in short times, even though the figure may seem a higher figure now, when you consider the cost of living then and the cost of living now, it really nothing has really changed, you know. Nothing has changed, really. It remains the same.
And in fact, the spending power now might be worse. We'll be getting less than shot and then by a couple thousand. And mind you, right now, nobody does anything for Calypsonian free.
Because that's right, but Skulls, I want to let me get into a little bit more bacchanal. You're the one that always saying Calypso is a bacchanal and kind of thing. In 2025, basically, there were 2 songs directly on King's Scholar, 2 calypsos that were sung on King's Scholar. One from the former monarch, Respect the King, and then there was the other one from Serpent. Well, unfortunately, he didn't make the final, but they were leveled at you. Having to deal with that, what effect did it have on you in your preparation and going into the competition?
Well, you know, Godfrey, I am a fighter. So, and that is kind of like my default setting. I like the fight. As I told you earlier, my old man had stopped me. My old man had stopped them. My old man sit me down and tell you, and my old man tell me, don't bother with them. And he said to me, God go take care of them. I didn't bother with him because I was resolute. And we went into the semi-final and brought up on board. I said, but you look as though me old man onto something, man. You look as though me old man onto something. I just leave them fellas and them. And part of the reason is that a lot of what they wrote and sang was unfortunate. Most of it is not true. Most of it is stretching the real issue and putting a different spin on it than what it is. I see a lot of people say when Innocent win, I think, well, Innocent himself, the song Respect the King, that's what he says. I did nothing to Innocent.
But interestingly, part of his presentation, I looked at it and I was kind of, but why, if you asking to respect the king, why would you show a clip of Scholar speaking about the judges and not about the king? So I kind of thought that, but with the presentation was in Scholar's favor, not really, because he was, kind of not anything to do with him in particular, asking for respect.
And the truth is that I wasn't, the clip of the show, I wasn't even speaking about the judges. I was speaking about interference by external people in the judging process. That's what I was speaking about. And that had always been, you see, part of the problem, and me and Innocent, we spoke about it. And Innocent, is honest enough. He'll know, because the same sour soap on them fellas on them. What? Singing this kind of thing on them. On the night when Innocent had his adventure. Right? When Innocent had his adventure, these same guys were the ones who start in backstage and saying, Innocent boss, and Innocent can come nothing. And I was the one consoling Innocent. That's a fact. Innocent will tell you that. He could tell you that. I don't know if he will. That's a fact. In fact, Innocent was feeling so down. Innocent said to me, he don't even feel to put on a costume to go and sing the second row. I said to Innocent, boy, watch, don't watch, behave yourself. If I have to dress you, I will dress you here. You ain't going outside there with these jeans and this jersey. You're crazy, or get yourself together, man. Chin up. I was the one consoling Innocent. All of a sudden, I become a bad fella. And I saw up and them running them out on me. What run them out on Innocent? Why, I tell you, this ad farm is a crazy ad farm. Right? And the truth be told, I didn't know what happened to Innocent. Honestly, I did not know, because when the thing happened, when Innocent was singing, I went outside because my daughter and her dance company, they had to dance for me in the second round. And at that time they came. So I went outside to bring them in. It was a couple of them. So by the time we finished the logistics with ticketing and so on, Innocent had already finished singing. So I knew nothing about what happened to Innocent. It's when I come back, Innocent would tell me what happened to him. Okay. All of that telling you is the truth. Innocent would tell me what happened to him.
Why is it happened to him? Why is it happened to him?
The mic, and they say that the mic what Dash, something about the mic what Dash used, and the mic didn't thing. And he told me, somebody said that they could speak to the judges, yada, yada, yada. I took that as nothing, right? No, it was only after I went back and I looked at the thing in the quiet, I noticed, I saw what happened, right? And on top of that, I realized that even if, okay, you forgive Innocent for that,
for the technical issue.
For the technical issues, fine. It's okay. He sang over a verse, the second verse as well. Okay, fine. And the judges decided Innocent win. That's fine. It's okay. But lo and behold, Innocent was correct, because he hinted that to me that somebody said they go and tell the judge, they'll go and tell the judge. He told me that tonight as well. All that I'm telling you is a fact. And indeed it happened. But it didn't even happen as Innocent had said it, It happened even before Innocent knew it happened, And Innocent have no culpability in that. I said that over and over again. That was not Innocent doing. But a gentleman came out up to now, I don't know where he got his authority from. Well, Val knows about judging and so on, that the judging table has to be sanitized. You cannot outside interference coming in. But while the judges were judging, a man come out from say he's on Spice Mart's authority and told the judges that it was a mic malfunction, innocent in boss, and so mark him appropriately as that. The judges rub off the score and fix it. I mean, come on, man. This is wrong. And that has nothing to do with innocent and respecting king and the respecting king and all this kind of nonsense. This was just wrong. And so I pointed it out that this is not something that we must perpetuate and allow to happen again. What's wrong with that? And suddenly I hear the respecting the king and this and same man who had run the mouth on the king and say all kind of thing. Jump up doesn't have the king's when me were they consoling the king and they running them out on the king. Why
you was the king's subject, huh?
Scholar, two questions. I mean, in Trinidad, when there is competition and big competition, Calypsonians are afraid to allow certain people into their dressing room. There are Calypsonians who don't shake hands. You understand? Some that's go in the savannah early and do their thing. So I'm asking the question, is necromancy an issue surrounding Calypso in Grenada? Because people losing their voice and they're busting and so on. So tell me, you understand? Your father said don't bother with them and man forgetting. So it's no, I'm not making your father culpable. So is necromancy something of whatever?
Val, hold on. Folks, let me just clarify for those of you who do not know what necromancy is. What Val is asking Scholar is if there's an obia in the dressing room. That is what Val is asking. So don't let Val tie you up with all this kind of big, fancy, parapsychological words. He asking Scholar if you have obia in the dressing room. Simple as that. Scholar, you could answer now.
I think Val forget. Man in Trinidad was going to wine on grave. I'll forget that. we don't reach them kind of place and wine on grave but there has always been those sort of suspicions. Whether they I've never seen it happen. For me, for one, I don't believe in this thing. But it was so entrenched that Godfrey could remember Black Wizard sang a song about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Really. So it was so entrenched. In fact, I saw it happen once. I remember in 2006, a Calypsonian Godfrey partner fall out from his shoulder and Wizard pick it up. No, I didn't know what happened because I think. And I see Wizard come, Wizard neck get shut. Wizard the face get long. I say, oh, Wizard, what happened? And Wizard tell me, look, he pick up the man with a shrag to give the man. And the man started cursing him. And the man say, you don't want that wash shrag, boy. I say, well, where the hell is that? That was my only encounter, honestly, with this. This is something that we heard about before I came into Calypso, right? Before 1993. When I came and Beast came, I think we changed a lot of this in the dressing room. so that Calypsonians started to understand that this was not a fight down kind of thing where you don't speak to some men in your street who want to see one another behind there and so on. The dressing room became fun, honestly, when myself and Beast came, because we started to interface like brothers. In fact, I would do presentation with Beast, and Beast would do presentation with me, but we're in the same competition fighting with one another. And I think people saw that, and it sort of had a ripple effect. So I cannot say no that this is so. People might have their old thoughts in their head. I remember there was a year when a Calypsonian, he make a set a mistake. He was riding high. People say he a winning crown. And me and him were the main competitors for the crown in that year. And he messed up bad in the first round. And he say, is me a throw Obi out. And strangely enough, he won. He still won. He still won. So
but how much?
You'll be at
the work.
Yeah?
The Obi didn't work.
The Obi either didn't work or his movie was stronger. Yeah. He still won. But there is not that kind of incidence of that, honestly.
Yeah, it's not something you hear about here. It's
no.
Yeah, you hear men cussing and carrying on and getting on and all kind of thing, and I guess it's just I mean, when you listen to the kind of talk you hear, it's you get the feel that you have men kind of toting feelings because they lose. They just can't handle the blows, and I think to maybe Scholar winning so many crowns. It's kind of difficult to deal with, But I tell you, here is my biggest concern in all of that. And people can cuss and say, who win, who much crown, and the truth is I really don't care about that. My concern is when you decide, in fact, I'll tell you, I recall now. So, for example, scholars for song "Innocence Lost." I recall some years ago. It would have been maybe about 20. I'll tell you, 2017. Rootsman Kelly won the crown, and he had a song called "Cut It Off." One of the songs, "Cut It Off." And that song basically addressed the same issue that Scholar addressed in the Innocence Lost. The whole issue of this male predators and young people and all of that. Just different vehicles carrying the song, right? And that was fine. That was fine. But when someone, or let's say for example Scholar in his case, so he went too much, he must stop singing, then what happens to Calypso? Because you are the same one who love Calypso so much. You love Calypso so much that you want somebody to leave. What happens? And that's what I don't get. You love Calypso. I listened to one of the spectators in the news tonight, and she loves Calypso so much that she's saying that when you treat the young people who come into Calypso like that, what you expect? Well, my question is, treat them like what? It is a competition. Is it a case where every year you decide you're going to give somebody else the crown, or people have to come work hard, do what is required to earn that title? What is it? And what is more bothersome about that is when you hear Calypsonians handing the judging of the competition to spectators like that. What happens to Calypso? What happens? Where is Calypso heading when the same people who love it so much, the same people who cry that Calypso is dying? And on the other hand, you are asking a Calypsonian or Calypsonians who you perceive has probably won a couple crowns to leave and to stop singing. What happened? I mean, I don't get it. I really don't get it. And, it just takes me back to Scholar actually taking these kind of things serious and actually considering, well, I know what you're considering.
No, but I could tell you what I'm considering. And not considering. I could tell you what I will do. I can tell you what I'll do. I believe that we have had enough of this. People have said to me that every time you're saying you're going to leave and you're not leaving. And it's for that specific reason. I just can't understand why. I cannot, all that you have been justified is the reason why I'm not leaving. I've not left to this date. But there is a tipping point. And the funny thing about it, Godfrey, the same young people that they are speaking about, the old men are writing for them. The young people are writing.
Mm-hmm.
The young people are writing.
Yeah.
It's the same old people that are writing for them. I see Ralph Titus say IMG, call IMG name. He say IMG should feel hard done by. I wonder if he knows me at right for IMG. Maybe if he know, he didn't put in that on the paper. He didn't put in that on the paper.
But you see that and this is why
people. Go ahead. I'll finish.
No, and I'm saying, and this is why I have a difficulty when a Calypsonian, a former monarch, could hand over the judging of Calypso to spectators. That one, I don't know to understand that one.
So a Sopan then hand over no judging to no spectators. So a Sopan is just malicious with himself. The truth is, this is not how he saw the season panning out. He write a tune. Me and him spoke about the song. I told him all of what he have in the song is lie. And he said to me, I don't find his lie. But in any case, he saw an opportunity. That's what he said to me. So he write a song. Fair game. It's no problem. Although you must say things that are true. But fair game. So he had this wave he thought he was riding. And then he got cut down. And then on top of that, in the semi-finals, I drop a little pecan and say that he boss. So all of this kind of stuck, in his craw. So that is what you heard venomously coming out from Source Upon in the interview that he gave. Really. That's what you heard coming out from him. The truth is that this interview that he gave makes absolutely no sense, and it makes him look not like as a sopan but as a jackass. I mean honestly, because there you have the same song that he wrote about me. The main theme that threaded through the song was that the judge's decision is final. And that Innocent didn't crown himself. Those are the themes.
King is innocent.
Oh, you just say this thing. Then all of a sudden you come now about if you win a crown, so you're giving it back. And so what happened to the judge's decision is final now and all of this thing? What happened to those? You know, it just is mind-boggling. But you know, the funny thing about it is that these guys have won crowns before. I mean, Sopan win a lot of crowns, a lot of independence crowns. Sopan has won a lot of crowns, and a lot of the crowns that he won, the just as how all the results go, it was not unanimously accepted. I mean, there was a COVID crown, for example, that Sopan won in independence. Sopan pulled out a cell phone. We'll never forget that. Sopan pulled out a cell phone to sing a last verse. He said he wasn't reading the last verse. I don't know why you will pull out a cell phone reading if you're not reading it. But he did that. He pulled out a cell phone, he reading the last verse. He still make mistake while he reading it. He sang the last verse in a higher key. So that when the band came back now with the chorus, he and the band was in two different keys. And he win. He win, I tell you. He win, he don't give back crumb. He don't think about giving back crumb. A lot of the crowns that he won, a lot of people, that's how it is in Calypso. A lot of people in Philly win crown. What you gonna do? Yeah, judge yourself. Okay. So me I know what he's speaking about, you know, but it just shows the shabby behavior, really. And I believe, because I've always said, right, and I'll maintain this, Calypso is a passionate kind of thing, and after the results, men does course, men does get on, and so on. Honestly, I have no big problem with that. So I don't have a big problem with Sopan, except that he is just been two-tongued and whatnot. I feel that he's just hurting. The problem I have is when Calypsonians can carry that hurt for 1 year, carry that hurt, and then come back 1 year later singing some nonsense about the judges, thief them, and yada yada. I have a problem with that. And that's why Godfrey and Val, I've never sung a song about the judges and ladies. Yeah. Never in my life. Because I have a year to reconcile this thing and to go back to the drawing board and fix myself. And if you could carry this thing for a whole year. But you know the funny thing is that the people who do this thing, who carry it for the year, and who come back and sing about the judges' decision every time they lose, they don't say they could stand to lose, you know.
they could stand their losses.
Yeah. I mean, there's the only Calypsonian I know in the history of Calypso in Grenada who actually sang a song and mentioned the judge that he don't like by name is the same Calypsonian that feel I don't like to lose and he could lose. I mean, that's the strangest reasoning I've ever heard, you know. Strange reasoning. You have a whole year, get over it. Come on. But yeah, men coming back and thinking things, so I don't know, man. I don't know. But I was saying to you, Godfrey, that I have said it over and over time and again, and I'm saying it now, but this time with a different spin and a different meaning and a different thing to it. Here is where I offload. Here is where I hang those guns up. I'm not going to put my daughter and Mora. I figure she could make 100, like that kid Mora. I figure she could make 100 because she looking good. But I feel if I put her through them roller coaster nonsense with this thing and them, I hope she hasn't read what Ralph Titus write. Because she wouldn't know that Ralph Titus is not a authority on these things that he's saying. He even imputed it. Honestly, I wish you could go back and write it. And this is the most disappointing thing about it. He even imputed that there was a judge who went at halftime and spoke to Deacon Mitchell. I don't know why he said this thing. I don't know if he's to impute that somehow Deacon Mitchell have a hand in, I mean, it's the most nasty.
Really?
There is a saying.
Yeah. I wish you should go back.
There is a saying that people do not pelt stones at non-bearing trees. So that clearly,
and I agree with that. But right now, yeah. all my fruits fall.
You have to be doing something. But before we even wrap up, I want to probably ask some hard questions. One, for this crown, and it's 11th, what does this crown mean to you? And what does winning do to you? This crown, what does it really mean? And what does winning a Calypso monarch in Grenada, what does that really do to you? Because I think all the aggro and so on, the hate that you one is seeing simply comes from that, the fact that you win so much times, and I don't know what people think. So you tell me, what does winning mean, and what does it do to you as an individual?
Godfrey, when I started singing Calypso, if anybody had said to me, you will win 3 crowns, I would take that. Honestly. So after some time, and the truth is that winning Calypso crown in Grenada, there are some people who believe that when you say you're a Calypso king, you're actually a good king, like the king of England. They may not believe you're a good king, And so you have to get respect and yada thing. The king in Grenada, the Calypso monarch, by and large, and I don't think it's in Grenada alone, that's probably something that obtains in most territories, are treated shabbily. So it's not that you have any kind of big thing because you win. It only is that you are being rewarded for your hard work. And Calypso is hard work. So there is that sense of satisfaction. And that now is basically what I feel. When that has been for some time now. As I tell you, this one is special for me because the odds of me winning a crown, again, I always felt was very slim because of that mountain of public opinion that I've had to climb. People don't judge my work in the way that they judge everybody else. Honestly, I'm telling you that if it was me who sang, all Titus and I'm saying about, he mentioned Shiri, he mentioned IMG, he mentioned somebody, Big J. If I was to have sung what IMG sing, or Shirin sing, or Big J sing, and any one of them sing what I sing, he's saying give them the crown. I'm positive on that. I am the problem. I am just the problem.
Right. One other question thing. As Calypso monarch again, when we started these sessions, one of the things that came up was the 2 Calypso entities, right? That are still there. This division. As Calypso monarch now, what can you do? What kind of influence can you have? Hard question. In bridging the gap.
Honestly,
so that kind of whatever dysfunctional elements that are there that are hampering the growth and so on of Calypso, what kind of voice can you lend to it to heal?
Well, the truth is that I've tried before, and it just has not worked. You have to understand the genesis of it to understand the deep-seated rift that has happened with the Calypso. And I don't think I'll go into that with you. But I have always said that uniting the Calypso factions in Grenada is as difficult as uniting NDC and NMP.
Oh.
Because the faction happened along political lines. It was fueled by political influences. And this is where the issue is. People want to dog their head in the sand and believe that this is not so. But that's what it is. That is what it is, and that's why it has never happened to this day.
All right.
So I really don't know what I can do.
Right.
I have one faction, and I'm trying my best with it to make sure that we are as professional as we can be, that people get a good opportunity. People come to me from wherever, I take them in, and I give them a home. A lot of the people who got thrown out of entities came to me, got a home by me, and then left me on course, you know. Calypso is a thing. Sometimes I don't believe Calypso is of the devil, you know. Sometimes. But I really don't know what I can do, Val, and this is my honest answer.
Yeah. Well, I did not realize that it ran along those lines, those political lines,
yes.
Which is clearly a more difficult thing to fix. So that so thanks for that, and thanks for the honesty in terms of stating that, you know. But wear the crown well. I think that while you don't want to burden your parent, and you want the mother to have those 12 more years and so on, and you feel that if you stay in the ring, you know, mommy will probably get a heart attack or some kind of thing because of the pressure. Yet the terrain, the space would become less, you know. I know you write for a number of people, but that presence, that voice, right? I once heard a musician say that they asked him when would he stop playing, right? He was 80-something years old and still composing music and playing. And they say, well, when would you stop? He said, well, when there's no more music within me, right? You know, he's not a civil servant. He doesn't retire at 60 and say, well, it's time to go home and cock up your foot, right? But you stop in terms of a life of creativity when there is no more art to come out of you, right? So that's all I can say to you, Scholar. That once, and it seems that the thing is still pouring out of you in torrents, because you have written for about 5 or 6 people apart from yourself this year. It could be more, I don't know, you know. So the thing is still pouring out of you in torrents. Why put a block to it? And you yourself say that since it's God given, then God have a right to hit you a tap or something for even considering that you must exit the scene so early.
Remember the story with the people with the talents in the Bible?
Yeah.
Remember the story in the Bible, the people who God gave talents and what they do with it?
Yeah, well, I try with mines, and then I don't know. I believe that God in His supreme wisdom, I believe He go punish them, man.
Let me ask you something. Let me ask you something before we wrap. I mean, let's just go back a bit. Let's just reflect a bit. From the time you entered Calypso in '93, and we could go back, but let's take it from when you started. You came in and of course you met people like a Jamo, Black Wizard, you know, Beast, Praying Mantis, all of these guys, they were there. And we came down the line, and through the years, we've seen some of them, you know, they've moved on. Ajamo is no longer in competition. Wizard is no longer in competition. People like Mr. X is no longer in competition. Mantis is no longer in competition. Beast is no longer in competition. I mean, you're talking about guys who have made significant contribution to Calypso. You know, you're talking Kaiso in Grenada, and I guess that's the era you would remember. People like Flying Turkey and all the others, you know, who played their part and gave their very best. And you were among them as a young man coming in and giving them trouble. I remember there was a particular line in a Calypso that said, "Scholar, mash it up." I remember that very well. you know, after we've lost so much of these greats over the years, you know, and as Val says, that still have all this Kaiso pouring out of you. You think you have it in you to walk away?
Yeah,
You ever hear about somebody they call the Kaiso bug?
yeah.
You ever bite you?
Kaiso bug bit me all the time.
And they doesn't stop bite you.
Nah, man, he go bite me again, but I ain't go bother it because there comes a time when rationality, you know, takes over, and there is just so much that I think an individual can take. Would just want to ply my trade, use the God-given talent that I have, and that people will see it for what it is and treat me fairly. You know, that's all. But when I do not believe and there is an animosity that starts banking up, you know, towards me, I believe it's a good juncture to call a break. You know, sometimes people does call for you to leave, and then after a few years they just call back for you because they realize, wait, no, we're missing something. Something is missing. If that be the case, then fine. But I ain't going through this thing again. I ain't going through that.
All right.
Caller, quickly, I want to take you back to 2006. You won the crown that year with a song, 2 songs, Free Man in Chain and Whole What. You remember that song, Free Man in Chain?
Yep.
You remember the words?
Yep.
Right. Now, I'm sure you would agree that some of the very same sentiments that you're expressing now was spelled out in that song.
Yeah, you know they say 2000 and how much is it?
6.
Now them are the young, you know they say when you're young you're stupid.
Val, let me tell you something. They say he mouth go twist. I'm gonna think, you know, I go send this song for you, Val, because what he did in that song was basically to outline all the nasty things that they say about him and what will happen to him. And he went on to win the crown in 2006. He win again in 2007. He come back, he win again in 2009. He win in 2012. He win in 2016, 18, 22, and now again in 25. 11 Calypso Monarch titles. And then he sit down there telling us, well, yeah. Scholar.
Well, you know,
Scholar, I have a few words for you. You have to stop that.
Yeah. So if I concede with what he's saying, maybe there is an opportunity to do something different. So maybe in the Grenadian landscape, there's an opportunity to do something different. I think that I've heard you not once, twice, said that a lot of the animosity and thing that you're feeling comes from competition. And competition really is not the best place or the vehicle for even promoting Calypso. Because this year, I've heard that there were a really good crop of Calypsos. Some of the best Calypsos remain in the tent. Right? So that I think maybe fate is pushing you towards creating a new space, an alternative space where people can hear and enjoy good Calypso, and it does not have that kind of gladiatorial kind of feeling and animosity about it. an alternative space that is just about creativity and come and hear good calypso and so on. So maybe that is what is in the future. So if I have to agree with you, I'm saying, maybe fate is pushing you towards setting up something, an alternative space that is not as
Val, let me tell you, Val, what scholar want is two bull, and that is that. Hold on, just as we wrap scholar quickly, let me just quickly ask your opinion. Spice Mass 2025 as an event. Your quick thoughts on it.
No man, outstanding, outstanding. And anytime that there is a good musical year, you have a good carnival. And I think this is what came to the fore this year. Every genre of the subgenre of the Calypso genre, everyone was just on top of it.
Yeah, it was.
Right?
It was.
The soca, the grooves, the songs for the road. I mean, everything was just up there, and the calypsos were way up there.
Yeah.
And you can bet your life that once you have a good musical season, because this is what drives everything else, that you would have a good carnival. So it's not surprising. And it's the first time in a very long time that I've not had or heard complaints about any aspect of the carnival. Imagine Monday night mass and all coming for high praise. As a Monday night mass was early this year.
Actually, yes. Yeah.
So and then I see Tuesday night mass playing all in sorters with glow stick and so on. I mean it was, and according to them, great are the best mass by far. Valid yourself. Eat your heart out. Great are the best mass by far, and it showed, I think, this last weekend got.
The wonderful thing for me is, especially when it comes to the Kaiso, Carnival is finished, but Kaiso continues. November 9th.
Yes, stop.
Legends in concert. More Kaiso, a heavy local cast. Probably have about 8 or 9 local artists performing. Local artists, I said. So Scholar, I think it's a good thing. You could probably call it the halfway point between two carnivals, where Calypsonians would have an opportunity again to perform and to sing and to, have people enjoy good Kaiso.
Yep.
Definitely.
And it's good that Legends has now found a different space, because I think the space in which it was sort of saturated club.
Yeah.
And it was crying out for a different time, different space, different occasion. And so we have it now, according to you, in the halfway point. And then the only thing that happens then, in February, you have some Independence Calypsos. So it falls strategically between Carnival and Independence as something that the Calypso lovers can kind of hold on to. So I know and I agree with you when you say that November what?
9th.
November 9th will be big.
Yeah.
Legends has moved, and I believe that, I hope that nobody comes now and jams up that space, because
we calling it shortly.
Gradients are there.
We calling it shortly. We bringing it shortly.
Yeah, we both
we bringing it shortly.
If one man go by the side of the road and he start to burn chicken, 2 Tuesdays in the next man come
I
burn it.
tell you, we go calling it shortly.
Okay.
we call it the shanty. Anyway, Skulls, again, let me congratulate you again on your 11th crown. I think it's a big win. It's a win for you, but more so I think it's a big win for Kaiso, for the art form. And I want to also encourage some of the other Calypsonians to continue to work on their craft, because they have a man to beat. And the history has shown he's not unbeatable. So guys, come get ready. Don't bother with me singing next year. She didn't say that. She didn't say every year he say he don't coming back, but he just keep making it coming back, he'll come back. So Skulls, congratulations again. A job well done, and we're looking forward to many, many more years and many, many more great Kaisos from you.
Thank you very much. And let me, at this juncture, congratulate all the Calypsonians. I think they did a very good job, and especially to those that came from my tent, Big G, IMG.
Yes.
And
Mapin, Shireen.
And Mapin, Shireen. Gave a very good account of themselves.
Charlton also.
Prince Charlton. So all in all, it shows that Bards, we are there basically to stay, and this is an honor that I carry, even as much as the crown that I've won this year, that for 9 years now I have been leading that organization, and it has grown under my leadership from strength to strength.
Indeed. All right, so thank you very much, Val. You're final as we wrap.
Yeah, what I say that, Scott, at the end of the day, you should be feeling like a dashing leaf in the rain, You give
a little grace. Vario, give a little grace.
Yes. But everything signing up, man. Yeah. When I give any grease,
definitely. So, guys, thank you all very much. It's gone past our time, but of course, join us again. Well, no, next week we won't have any program. Tomorrow, the Caribbean Premier League CPL starts, so we'll be off for a couple Wednesdays. Of course, once we get a free day, we will be back, but we'll make some adjustments to our programming. Our news will be at 6 p.m., obituaries from 5, and then CPL starts at 7. So it's a lot of action. Starts tomorrow. The Falcons, they play the Patriots in St. Kitts. That should be an exciting game. So thank you very much. We look forward to being with you again tomorrow. Until then, do have a good night. All the best. Thank you, guys.
Great. Yeah. Bye.